They say that offense wins games, but defense wins championships. So for today's video, we're going to name every NBA team's best defensive player of all time. While we are going to take a blast to the past, if you want to find out who has the best odds to win Defensive Player of the Year for this upcoming season, check out the Game Day's 2022 NBA Defensive Player of the Year prediction, sleeper picks, and award odds article. You can do that by clicking that top link down below. The Game Day is a new sports and sports betting media company built for today's fan. So without further ado, let's rebound onto that list. The 76ers' best defender is Wilt Chamberlain. Now you might be wondering, didn't Wilt play for the Philadelphia Warriors? The answer is he played for both franchises in the same city. Now onto his defense. Not only is he the 76ers' best defender, he's one of the best defenders in NBA history, period. He doesn't have any official shot blocking data, but some history gurus did record 112 games worth of his blocking stats, and according to said data, he was averaging 8.8 blocks per game. This guy was also grabbing over 27 rebounds per game. He is easily one of the GOATs. Rest in peace to Wilt Chamberlain. The Bucks' best defender is a really close call between Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Giannis Antetokounmpo. What makes it so close is that you can argue that Giannis can guard all 5 positions and has the footwork to guard the perimeter quite well. Kareem's post-defense rebounding and rim protecting, however, are day and night. This legend was giving you 4 blocks per game and 16 rebounds, compared to Giannis's 1 block per game and 9 rebounds. While Giannis may have more quantity and types of players he can guard, Kareem has the more quality in specific post defense. Quality over quantity, this one goes to Kareem. The Bulls' best defender is Scottie Pippen. Dennis Rodman makes a really close second. However, the Bulls had Dennis in his mid to late 30s when he was exiting his prime. Rodman's prime was with the Pistons. The Bulls had Scottie at his prime, and Scottie was their best lockdown defender. It was usually Pippen's job to guard the opposing team's best scorer, and this is one of the main reasons why the Bulls were so dominant. Of course, MJ was obviously the biggest main reason, but there is no Bulls dynasty without Scottie Pippen. The Cavaliers' best defender is LeBron James. Ben Wallace is a solid runner-up, but the Cavs got Ben late in his career when he was in his mid-30s. They had LeBron during the bulk of his prime. LeBron is one of those rare defenders who can guard all 5 positions, and thanks to his athleticism, his chase down blocks are not only a sight to see, but is probably the main reason why Cleveland is a championship city. Stopping a breakaway basket from happening is one of the hardest things to do, yet LeBron makes it look easy. The Celtics' best defender is easily Bill Russell. Much like Wilt, there's limited data onto Bill's blocks and not really any official data, but there is review data for 50 games, and he was averaging an insane 7.7 blocks per game in that review data, all while also averaging roughly 24 rebounds per game. Bill is not only the Celtics' best defender, he's one of the best NBA defenders of all time, period. The Clippers' best defender is Kawhi Leonard. While Kawhi doesn't have a strong Clippers trophy case, if we go off of simply skill, he's still in his prime, and so far he is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year and can guard positions 1 through 4 and sometimes the 5 spot. There's a reason why they call him the Claw. Thanks to his mitten-sized hands, his defense comes in handy, no pun intended. The Grizzlies' best defender all time is Mike Conley. While Mike only made 1 All-Star team playing with the Jazz, he easily played at an All-Star level throughout his time with the Grizzlies. He's a lockdown defender who can guard positions 1 through 3. He made the All-Defensive team in 2013. The Hawks' best defender is easily Dikembe Mutombo. Not only is he the Hawks' best defender, he's one of the best defenders of all time, period. He won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, is a 3-time block champ, 2-time total rebound champ, and a 6-time All-Defensive Player. In his best blocking season, he put up about 4.5 blocks per game. The Heat's best defender is prime LeBron James. Alonzo Mourning, Shaq, and Wade are all great runners-up. Wade has the best Heat resume, being there the longest. Shaq was more dominant, but Shaq was starting to dip out of his prime and had the injury bug later in Miami, and Alonzo is probably the closest second. He is an amazing defender and won 2 Defensive Player of the Years, but this is prime LeBron James we're talking about. His defense was just on another level. He's one of the rare players who can guard all 5 positions and guard it well. This is not a quality over quantity thing, this is a quality and quantity thing. Whoever the opposing team's best scorer was, that's who Heat LeBron was defending, and he was doing it well. If this was Lakers LeBron, I would easily take Zoe over LeBron James in that scenario, but this is prime LeBron. Speaking of Alonzo Mourning though, the Hornets' best defender is in fact Alonzo Mourning. While Zoe only played his first 3 seasons with the Hornets, his defense was great from the get-go. He was averaging 3.5 blocks per game and giving you 10 rebounds in just his rookie season. The Jazz's best defender is Rudy Gobert. Rudy so far is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-Defensive, and a block champ, averaging over 2.6 blocks per game. So far this season, he's putting up 19 rebounds per game, but who knows if he could keep it up at an insane level. The Kings' best defender is Metta World Peace. While he won a DPOY in 04 while playing for the Pacers, he was still in his prime playing in Sacramento from the ages 26, 27, and 28. Metta's defense helped the Kings reach the playoffs in 06, plus he's a 4-time All-Defensive Player. His defense is so good that it's offensive as well, no pun intended. The Knicks' best defender is Dave DeBusschere. Dave was so good at defense, his nickname was Big D, and the D in Big D stands for defense, so don't get any other ideas on why people call him Big D. He was a part of the first 6 all-defensive NBA teams in history. Even at 6'6", he was averaging 11 rebounds per game. Rest in peace to Dave DeBusschere. The Lakers have many great defenders, ranking them could use its own video, but for my pick, we gotta go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's one of the best defenders of all time. Kareem takes this spot for similar reasons why he took the Bucks spot. As for the Magic, this is a close call between Shaq and Dwight Howard. Shaq, thanks to his scoring title and offensive abilities, you can argue is the best overall player, but if we are going off of defensive specifically, a young Shaq versus a prime Dwight Howard is no contest in Dwight's defensive favor. Howard is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-Defensive, 5-time Total Rebound Champ, and 2-time Block Champ. As for the Mavericks, we have to go with Shawn Bradley. He's the best rim protector this team has ever saw. He's a block champion who consistently put up 3.5 blocks per game for many seasons and 4 blocks per game during his best blocking season. Doing this in the 90s is quite a feat. For the Nets, if we include ABA, there is a lot of good picks, but we are only sticking with the NBA, and we have to go with Jason Kidd. Jason's defense hardly ever gets talked about thanks to his supreme playmaking and court vision. Let's not forget that he's a 9-time All-Defensive Player and averaged over 2 steals per game throughout his career. The Nuggets' best defender is easily Dikembe Mutombo. Mutombo takes this spot for many of the same reasons why he took the Hawks spot. The Pacers' best defender is Paul George. George can easily guard positions 1 through 4, is a steals champion, and a 4-time All-Defensive Player. He's a great one-on-one defender who can lock down his opponents. Throughout his career, he's been averaging nearly 2 steals per game. The Pelicans' best defender is Anthony Davis. Davis is a 3-time block champ, 4-time All-Defensive Player, and can guard wings and front court players with ease. He put up roughly 3 blocks per game during his best blocking season. For the Pistons, we have a real close call between Dennis Rodman and Big Ben Wallace. There's no wrong answer here. If you disagree with my pick, this one is easily interchangeable. It's that close. Ben is certainly the better shot blocker, and he's better at guarding bigs. Rodman is by far the better rebounder and is more versatile as he can guard more positions. And he was one of the main reasons why the Pistons were known as the Bad Boy Pistons during his time. Both players won rings in Detroit thanks to their defense, so this is also what makes it a really close call. But I will have to give this one to Rodman for being able to have more defensive range and for defensively dominating a much tougher era. The Raptors' best defender is the Claw, Kawhi Leonard. They had Leonard during his prime and they won a ring thanks to his defensive abilities. He takes the spot for the main reasons why he took the Clippers spot as well. The Rockets' best defender is one of the best defensive players of all time period, and that's Hakeem Olajuwon. This legend is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 9-time All-Defensive Player, 2-time Total Rebound Champ, and 3-time Block Champ. During his best blocking season, he averaged 4.6 blocks per game and has averaged over 4 blocks per game for a number of seasons, all during one of the toughest eras being the 90s. As for the Spurs, this is a very close call between Tim Duncan and David Robinson. You can't go wrong here. If we were to include both ends of the court, Tim easily gets this spot as he's the best Spurs player ever. But if this is defense alone, I do think that Robinson, thanks to his supreme athleticism, was the better defender. He is an 8-time All-Defensive Player, a block champ, Total Rebound Champ, and a Defensive Player of the Year. He averaged more blocks than Tim, more rebounds on average, and was the more aggressive defender. Tim certainly had better range and efficiency, which makes him the better overall player, but both are great defenders. The Suns' best defender is Shawn Marion. How this man didn't win a Defensive Player of the Year award or make an all-defensive team is beyond me. To put his defensive win shares into perspective, in his best seasons, he put up over 6.4 and 5.9 defensive win shares. In comparison, Draymond Green's single best defensive win shares is 5.4, which was during the 2016-17 season. Shawn can guard positions 1 through 4, played great zone defense against LeBron in the finals, and that was during the tail end of his career on the Mavs. Imagine his prime with the Suns. The Thunder/Supersonics' best defender is easily Gary Payton. Gary is the best defensive point guard of all time period, let alone Sonics history. The glove is a 9-time all-defensive player, a defensive player of the year, a steals champion, and an NBA champ. In his best stealing season, he grabbed nearly 3 steals per game. He can lock down many guards and wing players with ease. The Timberwolves' best defender is easily the big-ticket Kevin Garnett. KG is a 12-time all-defensive player, a defensive player of the year, a 4-time total rebound champ, and can guard many wing players and bigs. He's one of the best rebounders during the 2000s and one of the best defenders of his era. The Trailblazers' best defender is Bill Walton. Bill is a block champ, NBA champ, total rebound champ, 2-time all-defensive, and a regular season MVP. He's a great rim protector and can give you 3 blocks per game and over 14 rebounds per game during his best seasons. If he was healthier, he could have easily been an even bigger monster on the court. The Warriors' best defender is Wilt Chamberlain, though Draymond makes a solid runner-up. However, Wilt is one of the best defenders in NBA history and takes the spot for the many same reasons why he took the 76ers spot. Rest in peace to Wilt Chamberlain. The Wizards' best defender is Elvin Hayes. The Big E was a monster rebounder and shot blocker who put up over 3 blocks per game and nearly 18 rebounds per game in his best rebounding season. He can guard wing players and big men with ease. He's a 12-time All-Star, 2-time All-Defensive, 2-time total rebound champ, and an NBA champ. So here is every NBA team's best defender all time. Let me know what you think of this list, and don't forget to check out the Game Day's 2022 NBA Defensive Player of the Year predictions, sleeper picks, and award odds. You can do that by clicking that link down below or heading on down to thegameday.com. I'm Rebound Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.